Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Wednesday, June 25th, 2025, 6/25/25. I hope you're all safe and healthy today, and that your families are safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your families in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with first responders who every day trying their best to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of pornography, child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts that create the demands that cause these evil industries to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States of America. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Right now, I want to talk about how the salary structure is controlling the NBA in a good way, in a sense. Back a long time ago, you could have a team like the Boston Celtics. Highest paid player was Bill Russell, $100,000 a year. $100,001. He wanted to make sure he got paid $1 more than whatever Wilt Chamberlain was getting paid. And so, and you could have that team in place for as long as those guys could play. And so they won 11 championships that way. So you can build a team like that and you can keep it a long time. Then as Michael Jordan, well, really it started when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird came into the league in 79 and 80. Then Jordan in 84, 85. Then money started coming into the league much faster and larger than ever before in history. Television money, advertising money, money from corporations, investments. These started coming in, sneaker companies. Money started pouring in, and then salaries grew. And then as that continued, then it went to a new level in 92 when the Dream Team went to Barcelona, Spain. When the Dream Team went to Barcelona, Spain, it changed the whole world in terms of the landscape of basketball. So now you have a worldwide game. And Jordan was a big part of that. First with Nike, then with the championships with Chicago, then in 92 with the Dream Team. Prior to that, foreign countries had been using their professional players in the Olympics, but the United States only used college players. When they decided to use their pros, it changed the whole landscape. Then more money started pouring into the NBA, okay? Then they went and got Yao Ming from China. China had at the time over 1 billion people. Put it this way, the middle class in China was bigger than the whole population of the United States. Why is that important? Middle class and up are people that buy tickets, that buy sneakers, that buy jerseys, that buy television to be able to view games. And Yao Ming brought the NBA to a completely stratospheric level where we are now. Then you add the television networks like ABC, which now is ABC and ESPN together, and you have uncountable money. Okay, so now the league put itself in check by having salary caps and then instituting taxes. When you go over the salary cap, they had to be paid back to the league, heavy taxes. And so now it's harder to maintain, to build a champion in a fiscally responsible way, as well as to maintain the championship level because of the salaries. So, for example, if a player makes an all-star game or all NBA, there's an automatic number, and it goes according to the percentage of the team's cap. Okay, so for example, I'm looking at the Knicks right now on Spot Rack. Karl Anthony Towns, his salary is 34.4% of the team's salary. And his salary in 26-27, 33.6%, then 32.6%, then 35%. So the amount of money is based on a percentage of the team's salary. Okay? And it's like that all over the league. So whatever team it is, let's look at Orlando, for example. Franz Wagner, his salary is 25% of the team's salary structure. Bane is 23.7. Suggs is 22.6. So the number is ancillary to what the salary cap is. And that tells you what you're working with. That causes salaries to rise for certain players. So you could only afford the luxury of having only one or two very high level, highly paid players that are all NBA level players or all-star level players. And you have to build your team around the ancillary pieces. So like if we're looking at, for example, Oklahoma City. Now, Oklahoma City is the poster child for how this is done in a perfect way. Let's take a look at Oklahoma City for a second, just to get an example of what we're talking about. Oklahoma City highest paid player is obviously Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So you look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's MVP, All NBA, All Star. He's only 24.8% of the team salary. Now he's going to get more because he just was MVP, but he's got $38 million coming this year, this coming season, and almost $41 million a year after that. And he's going to get more than that because of his prowess, because he's won MVP, All NBA, All Star. Okay, he's going to get more money. So, but look at how they're built right now. After winning the championship, they won the championship. They got still $9 million under the second apron. They're not even paying taxes. That's very rare. Okay, when you had teams like Golden State paying 8 figures, 9 figures in taxes, but they were willing to do it because they won 4 championships. Okay, eventually Oklahoma City's going to be in that situation, maybe. Sam Presti's slick though. So what they had done now, that's your highest paid player. Hartenstein has got $28.5 million, 18%, but this is only guaranteed for this coming season. They got a team option for $28.5 million, 26, 27. Then, of course, the rest of these kids, Dort, $18 million. He's 26 years old. Caruso, 31, $18 million. Chet Holmgren's only 23. He's being paid less than $14 million. Now, you know he's going to eventually be a max player. But for now, which is all you got to worry about, you got at least, I would say, you probably got 3 more seasons of these guys. 2 or 3 more seasons they work this right. Isaiah Joe's 26, $12 million. You got J-Dub. It's ridiculous. J-Dub is 24 years old. He's all NBA. He just got paid $6.5 million this year. He's going to get paid a lot more, obviously. And that's going to drive their whole salary structure up. But he's only 24. He ain't even close to his prime yet. Okay, and then you got a whole bunch of other guys. A.J. Mitchell, 23, $3 million this year. Jay Will, 23, $2 million this year. He's going to have to get paid. He's not going to get paid no max money, I'm saying, but he got to get paid. So they can keep this team together for like 2 more seasons, 3 more seasons before they go. And then what you'll see is what you just saw in Boston. So what did you see in Boston? Yesterday, Boston was looking at a $200 million tax. That's the tax. That's not even talking about their salary. That's salary, and then you got a $200 million tax to pay the NBA. Not no more. Not no more. So yesterday, we know that earlier this week, they dealt Jrue Holiday. They dealt, and then yesterday they dealt Kristaps Porzingis. Now, Jrue Holiday, he didn't save them a whole lot of money, but they went and got Anthony Simons, who's going to be a free agent. He's going to be unrestricted free agent after this season. Okay, that's number one. Then they went and traded Kristaps Porzingis $31 million. So that's off the books. And they got help from, I think, Washington in that trade. So now you just got your whole team under the second apron. You just saved yourself $200 million in taxes. That's movement right there. So but then not only did they do that by moving Kristaps Porzingis, but they also gave up the championship. They decided we're not going to go for the chip this year. Well, they know Jason Tatum's going to be out most of the season. And that's why they're getting calls on Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown would be available because Jaylen Brown's salary this year is $53 million. So if you're not going to win this year anyway, if you decide to rebuild. I don't know if they have. They could, but if you decide to rebuild, you're going to move Jaylen Brown. Okay, but as long as Tatum can come back, and you're talking about 26, 27 for Tatum. He's not going to be back this season. Even if he could make it back at the end of the year, it wouldn't make any sense for them to bring him back. These are very valuable investments, these NBA players. So you make sure he's 100% healthy. You bring him back 26, 27, and then you try to make a run by building around those two guys. But you still need those ancillary guys. You got Payton Pritchard locked up for the next 3 seasons, and that's probably your biggest. You're going to need a 5, which I wouldn't be surprised if they went looking for a 5 in the draft this year. You need a 5, somebody that could, and then they hope they can bring back Al Horford. I don't know, we'll see. But Al Horford is at the end of his career. If you can bring him back for 2 more, they would not make a run next season, but the season after that, you're going to try to make a run. And if they cannot make a run, if they're unsuccessful in 2 years, I would not be surprised if both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown became available. At that time, you're talking about Tatum at 29, Brown at 31. And some team this is where you at. The Celtics are on the top tier now. They just won a championship last year, and they're on the top tier. You got other teams. Detroit, not in the top tier. Okay, you got other teams. Washington, bottom of the barrel, right? So these teams that in 2 years will be looking to make a run might want one of these 2 guys. Then Boston has to flip the script and start over and rebuild. Okay, that's why I wouldn't be surprised if they picked a young 5 this year that'll be ready in 2 years to help them compete. That's how the game works. But we're talking about what's the most important team in the NBA. Well, it's the New York Knicks, of course. So we're talking about the New York Knicks. So right now, the Knicks got OG under contract, Cat under contract, Brunson under contract. And listen, I was listening to Ian Begley yesterday with this guy, Popper. Popper never fails to make me sick to my stomach if I listen to him too long. And yesterday was no exception. But I listened to get some that's worth listening to. The biggest piece of information he came out with yesterday, which I'm going to take as probably true, though I haven't checked it, is that the maximum salary Mikal Bridges could get is $156 million. Okay, so that's his max, $156 million. Okay, if he can get $156 million, let's assume that Don gets him in between 140 and 156. So that'd be something like $35 million a year. And the way that Don structures contracts, it's either going to be top heavy or bottom heavy, which means it's going to start out low and end up bigger, or it's going to start out big and go down lower. But he's going to make it so that the Knicks have flexibility. But yesterday, this knucklehead was talking about, I don't know if they want to keep him. They got a sunk cost. They might just write it off. No. Mikal Bridges is here, and he's going to stay here. So you got him. The team that the Knicks now have, Cat, OG, Brunson, Mikal, and probably Josh Hart. You're going to keep that team for 3 more seasons. Okay, and this year the Knicks are $8 million under the second apron, and they're going to stay under the second apron. They're not going to go above that because right now they got a tax bill of about $15 million, which they have no problem paying. But we don't want to get out of control with that. So with the team they now have, they will keep this team, and they will see if there's an ancillary piece that can be a strong, like for example, Isaiah Hartenstein is an ancillary piece. I think anybody could see the addition of him to Oklahoma City got them the chip. Is there a piece like that that can make that type of winning impact that will not cost you astronomical money? It's hard to find, very difficult. The Celtics did it with KP, and they just traded KP. Okay, they got him what they needed him for. He won the chip, 24-25, by adding KP. Now, it's diminishing returns. Move that brother on, and now you reduce your tax bill. Now, you got Isaiah Hartenstein, young boy, but he's costing $28.5 million. That's a decision they're going to have to make after next season. Not next season, after next season. They're going another chip next year because their whole team is coming back. Okay, so The Knicks, as we're looking at it, they got their ancillary pieces. Mitchell Robinson is here this year for $13 million. Hart is here for $19 million. Deuce is here for $4 million. Pacome Daddier, you might want to develop him because of the salary. He's only getting about $3 million. So he's 20. If you could develop him this year, you could save yourself some money, next 2 years. That's the thing here. You want to make sure you get ancillary pieces that help you win. Not because you like them, not because you're trying to give them a chance. You need ancillary pieces that help you win. And when talking about winning, you're talking about getting stops in the playoffs. You're talking about clutch buckets in the playoffs. We're not even talking about the regular season. We're talking about getting stops in the playoffs, clutch buckets in the playoffs. That's what you need. Okay? So, any of these guys that can help the Knicks do that on a consistent basis, they're going to get a shot. Ariel Hukporti is going to get a shot. Why? Because he can help the Knicks get stops. Pacome Daddier is going to get a shot. Why? He's 20 years old. If he can contribute to winning at 20, you got him for at least 3 or 4 more seasons locked up in a dirt cheap contract without you having to. For example, if Pacome Daddier can be anywhere the defender that Mikal Bridges is, if Pacome Daddier can be anywhere the shooter that Mikal Bridges, I'm comparing him to Mikal because that's what you're talking about. He played the same position. If you could get that out of him at age 20 or 21, you got something. Okay? So the new coach is going to play some rookies. The reason is because he wants to see if they could do what? Win. Again, it's not because he's our favorite player. It's not because he can help us a little bit. Can he help us win? That's the bottom line now. Because you're trying to win before you got to overpay and start trading these guys away to get rid of their salaries. Okay? And that's the game in the league right now. You're seeing it. Again, we just saw Kristaps Porzingis trade. We just saw Desmond Bane because Orlando's going all in now. They got Desmond Bane, and they don't have, right now, with Desmond Bane on their team, they don't have a tax bill, I don't think. Let me just see. If it is a small $2.5 million tax bill, see, they could deal with that because they're trying to go all in and get this chip now. That's what I'm saying. So it's a financial consideration of major proportions for every single team. And everybody goes through the same thing. It ain't going to be like distinct. Some teams are advanced, like Orlando, ready to compete for the chip. Some teams just got their chip and they ready to break it down and start over, like Boston. Okay? What you don't want is to be in the middle, like Atlanta. Right? Or you don't want to do that. Either you're in the bottom or the top. And if you're at the bottom, you could build. If you're at the top, you got to make decisions. Can you win a chip? If not, you're going to pay some taxes. So you got to get rid of some salary and start over. So you got to make sure, like Phoenix just messed up. You got these 3 high-priced dudes, and you ain't even made the playoffs. Forget the chip. So now you trade Durant, and Durant was smart. He was forcing the trade, not just forcing the trade, but forcing the trade to be low enough so that Houston would not be in the position that Boston is in financially. Okay? To help them so that they can win and not go all crazy on the tax bill. He's smart enough to do that. I don't know if it's going to help him, but that's what they're trying to do, right? So every team has got to go through this. Memphis just went and got Cole Anthony and Contavious Caldwell-Pope in the deal with Orlando for Desmond Bane because they're trying to compete with Ja Morant and Triple J with those 2 guys. Okay, every team is trying to get the chip. Houston, of course, we know they just got Kevin Durant. Then, of course, you got, all of the teams have to deal with this. And it starts when you're first rebuilding. So that's what's important about the lottery players in the draft right now. Because these lottery players, some of them are going to bust. So what you want to do is you want to avoid the bust. Okay, you want to avoid that. And you want to try to get as close to a sure thing as you can. There's no such thing as a sure thing, but you're trying to mitigate risk in that regard. Can they play without getting hurt? Are they going to give you attitude? Are they going to make the team better overall? Can they help you, these young kids? And you got to make that decision when you draft them because you're going to have to pay them. So now if they're as good as advertised, they're going to make an all-NBA team or an all-star team. Then you got to pay them like Luka Doncic. You got to pay them, right? So now when you pay them, can you build around them so that you get a chip? That's what Dallas messed up. They had Luka. They went to the finals, and they didn't even have a complete team, and they went to the finals. They traded Luka. That was a bad move. Bad move, okay? Now, they got Derek Lively. very good. And they got Cooper Flag coming. You better hope these boys pan out. That's the risk they take. You better hope they do more than pan out. They're going to have to get you to that next level. Otherwise, there's going to be some trades made. Nobody is safe because it's about the numbers. It's not the player. It's the numbers. Okay? So now, Dallas that made moves. New Orleans made moves. All of these guys, you're talking about Memphis, Orlando, Boston. Everybody's moving now, and everybody is planning for 2 years away, or 3 years away, or 5 years away, depending on how low on the totem pole they are. See, everybody's playing for that, and so that's the thing. What I'm saying is the New York Knicks are in a very good position. They're gonna keep this team together. They not only got the stars, the all-NBA guys in Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, and they got Brunson all-NBA at a cheap price. $156 is his extension. It doesn't even kick in until, when does his extension kick in? His extension, I think, kicks in next year. I don't even know if it kicks in. Well, he's getting $35 million this year, so it must kick in this year. But they got him locked in. And he's 29. You got at least 3 years of him. You got at least 3 years of OG Anunoby, who's 28. You got at least 3 years of Karl-Anthony Towns, who's 30. You got 3 years, you can get a chip. That's what this is about. Okay? And then you got your ancillary pieces. 27-year-old Mitchell Robinson, 25-year-old Deuce McBride, who's going to be 25, not 25. Yeah, you're going to be 25 in September. Then you got 20-year-old Daddier. Kolek is 24, but can he guard somebody? This is going to be a serious question. He better be able to play some defense or he's not going to be here. They're bringing in already a guy from Australia. They're bringing in, we talked about this guy, Darryl from Arkansas. See, this is the thing about the league. Every year, there's new guys coming. Every year, if you're a guy like Daddy at Kolek, our Coke Party, you're on the fence every year unless you can prove you're worth keeping. Okay? And so Kolek has got to show out in summer league. So does Marshawn Beauchamp, 6'7". Yeah, he got the height, 6'7". He can play some defense. He better show it. There's people coming, okay, and they coming for his spot. And so this is really good for the Knicks. You create a synergy of competition where everybody's hungry. Everybody's trying to make that. Everybody's trying to get that money. It's the guaranteed money every player wants plus the chip. That's what everybody wants, okay? So now, who Porty is going to be, because he's already shown a 5 that can guard the rim, that can cover ground, that's quick. Only thing is he available? That's the only thing I keep saying. Can he stay available? If he can, we got something, okay? And he's only costing $2 million, okay? Then you got Daddy. He's only costing $3 million. First round pick. He's taking 1.8% of the salary structure, and he's 20 years old. Can we develop him? Can he play 2 and 3? Can he guard? We're going to find out. He got a lot better, though. He was developing in the G League as he's supposed to last season. Let's see what happens this summer. Daddy's got a big summer coming. He ain't going nowhere because his age and his talent level says he's an investment that you want to keep because of his salary, okay? He's an investment you want to keep. Beauchamp, we're going to see. Guys like Shamet becoming valuable because they're going to be a minimum contract. He's 28. He can shoot the rock and he can play NBA level defense. Shamet is going to be here. I don't know about DeLon Wright, but I'd like to keep him. He's 33. He ain't going to cost a lot and he can perform for 15, 20 minutes a game. He can start if you need him. I like that. Okay? So all of these names people keep throwing, all these has-beens like Ben Simmons, what the hell? You guys realize every single season Ben Simmons shows himself shooting jump shots as if he could shoot, and he can't. When it comes to the game, he can't. Every single season. I saw it again, the annual. This is Ben Simmons season. He's going to be able to shoot. No. Every year, Mitchell Robinson shoots threes in the summer. Never shoots them in the game because he ain't supposed to, but he shoots them in the summer. Nice. That ain't winning you no chip, though. See? So this is the thing. Precious, $11 million. That's what he got. $11 million unrestricted free agent hole right now. Precious. That $11 million is included in the allocations, which still keeps them $8 million under the cap. Second apron. Okay? I think we keep Precious. He's that ancillary piece that could get you a double-double in a playoff game. He can get you a stop on a tight, he could guard a Tatum. He could guard a Brown. He could guard a SGA if he needs to. Precious can do all that. That's worth his weight in gold. I think we want to keep Precious, but that's up to the Don and them. We'll see what happens. Now, with respect to the coach, I don't think the Knicks want to go into free agency without a coach. Free agency starts, this is next Monday. Okay, next Monday. They're going to have a coach by then. They just called, like I said, they called this assistant in as just due diligence. I think J.L. Jenkins is going to be the coach. And I think they just already planning that. As far as the draft, they don't need a coach for the draft. They should have one, be nice, but I don't think so. The reason is because Walt Perrin knows what the hell he's doing. He knows what the hell he's going, so does the Don. They know what they're looking for. They're looking for cheap talent. Cheap talent, which is why we talked about second round guys yesterday. They may not even pick anybody. Cheap talent, unrestricted, undrafted free agents. And if they can get a guy, Adu or Powell, a Proctor, if they can get him cheap, they'll look at him. Okay? They'll look at him because that's the thing. Cheapness. Can they help you win? And they cheap. Your older guys, your older prospects, you're talking about the kid from Duke. Let me just make sure I got it. The kid from Duke, he's about 6'6", nice size, nice body, older though. Gonna be 23 during the course of the season. What's the boy name? I'll tell you right now. Don't be typing. Stop typing. Let me tell you who he is before you start typing. The boy name is oh God. Where he at? Some of you already typing. I can see it. Stop it. Hold on a second. Hold on. Boy out of Duke. Daggone it. What's the boy name? Daggone it. Can't stand it. Oh, shoot. Too many of these players out here. Shoot, man. What's this cat's name? Anyway, he's a guy that's a fringe player, a fringe NBA player, not a guaranteed NBA guy, but he would come cheap. That's the thing. He would come cheap. You got Proctor. They're rating him at 43. Zion James. That's the guy I was talking about. Stop typing. Zion James from Duke. 6'6", 218 pounds, but he's going to be 23 in 6 months, right? A bit older. No upside. But could be a solid contributor. We don't know. But a guy like that, if you can get him cheap, they got him listed at 40. That's a little too high. Then there's this Alex Tuhi from Sydney. I ain't seen no defense from this cat. I looked at some of his stuff. He got talent now. But they're going, you can't win if you ain't playing no defense, no bueno. I like Drake Powell. I told y'all that. I like Markovich. Told y'all that. I like Tyrese Proctor. I think Proctor is a sleeper. Real serious sleeper. Can play much better in the pros than he did in college. Not as athletic as DiVincenzo. I compared him to DiVincenzo because of the way he plays defense. Not as athletic. And he can hit big shots like Devo. But Devo's way on another level athletically than this kid, Proctor. But I like Proctor. One of them kids that will stick around, you know. So we got, you're going to see a lot of these guys in camp. You're going to see a lot of these guys in summer league. You're going to see these guys undrafted, some of them. And the Knicks are going to get them. Somebody to come in there. And they're going to have to fight for their spot. Love that. You want that comp. Okay? You want them boys killing each other for that last spot. The Don's gonna make that happen. Okay, so it's gonna be a very good summer for the Knicks. Some of the guys gonna not make it. Some are gonna make it. But overall, it's gonna be good for the Knicks come October when that camp starts. You're gonna have a team. Then you got your own dudes that you bringing back. Again, your Deuces, your Josh Harts, your Mitch Robs, and hopefully your Precious Achiules. So now you got a team. Now, you got the salary set. You got your team set. You can run this squad for another 3 seasons. And I'm going to tell you right now, if they do that, they're going to win a chip. Okay? I'm not even saying maybe. They could win a chip if they do that. As long as they got the health. That's really the key thing. Health. Knicks got to stay healthy. They know that too. Brunson is in his prime right now. Cat is in his prime right now. OG just reached his prime last year. The Knicks going to be scary. Okay? I'm telling you. So, these youngins that we looking at, that's going to help us. That's what we need. This is the time to put up or shut up. This is the time the cream rises to the top. And the salary structures, again, the Knicks got it, the Don got it, played it beautifully. Somebody asked me, do I think the Don can rival Sam Presti? Yeah, but it's almost saying like, can a guy that win 2 championships, say LeBron, rival Michael Jordan, who won 6? You understand what I mean? 6 is 6, right? And LeBron has won 4 now, but I'm saying there was a time when he was in Miami, they were saying, you know, can he be like, no, LeBron, great player, but 6 chips is 6 chips. That's Jordan, okay? So that's what I'm saying. Sam Presti is the master class of the master classes. He has done it more than once. Rebuilt Oklahoma City. Picked 3 MVPs. No, I'm sorry. Picked 4 MVPs. His 4th one was a trade, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But the other 3 he drafted. That's the guy I know what the hell he's talking about. But the Don, he's on that level now. He's coming up there. We got to win a chip though, but he's coming up there. So we give the Don his credit. He built this team right. We in a good shape. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's keep it flowing. Y'all enjoy your Wednesday. Enjoy the draft. So